We're back, baby. We're back.
I'm just going to fall
It
asleep.
is officially back. F1 is back. We are off the back of AusGP weekend. Thank God it's a public holiday today. We are tired, but also excited.
I love that you enjoyed your public holiday. That's nice.
I didn't. I was exhausted.
Yeah, you said thank God it's a public holiday. I had to work all day. Way to rub it in.
Yeah.
I too am absolutely wrecked, but I've been in the principal pop-up store because it closes tomorrow. So
If you want to get, well, by the time this comes out, it'll be
gone.
closed, So
It'll be gone. But it's been amazing, and there were so many people that came in today. I was trying to watch the race again, and I was like, this isn't going to happen. This is not.
no,
I just
definitely
needed
not
to
happening.
concentrate with everyone.
Definitely. Did you make lots of sales today?
We did. Lots of sales, lots of conversations. A lot of devastated Oscar Piastri fans came through the doors. And
Yes.
a lot of conversations around merchandise in general.
Yeah.
So many people were like, oh, typically I come and I buy like thousands of dollars worth of team merchandise.
Right.
And,
And they were choosing principal instead of team merch.
No, they're going both ways, but they were all saying that they feel like they have to buy it during the race week. And
Team merch.
Team merch, and then never wear it again.
Oh. Do they not wear it to the other races or anything?
Well, most people only go to one race a year.
I guess there is a big group of people, like I'll buy a soccer jersey and then I'll just have it forever, regardless if that player plays at the team or not.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I've got my Barcelona jersey.
But it's just interesting to see, like, you know, having those conversations about how people feel about merchandise and, like, the team merchandise as well and what they do with it. And they were just like, yeah, we just don't wear it again. But you feel pressure to buy it. And I was like, I mean, I know teams, no matter what sport you're in, you have to make money. And merchandise is obviously a great revenue builder.
Especially when you think about, you try buy a hat at the AusGP and it costs like, what, $120?
I think they're $150. Like,
Every year the price goes up
it's
and up.
kind of, I almost feel bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of rooting the customers, the fans. I was just like, yeah, it's actually not very nice.
Yeah, but I think people, if they want to buy it, they'll buy it. And if they don't want to buy it, they won't buy it. Like, I'm not going to pay $150 for a hat.
No, I have before, but I'm not going to do it again.
No. The only hat that I would do that for is the blue
I was going to say, was it
Ferrari.
the blue Ferrari? Yeah, I'd do that.
Yeah.
For I think that one, though, was like $2,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's a little bit different.
That's crazy. And I really want a Pirelli hat. It's on my bucket list for the next
I always
year.
look at them, but they're plastic clasps on the back, and I know exactly where they're manufactured.
Well, we need to find. Actually, I was
And
speaking to
that's
someone
what
the other
annoys
day.
me about it, because then I know how much they're actually worth.
I was speaking to someone and they were like, oh, I know the manufacturer. Who was it?
Was it me?
No, it was someone else, but let's do it. Anyway,
The race.
the race. Oh, let's talk about the weekend. How was your weekend?
God, I was going to say, do you want to do the whole
week.
weekend or the race?
The whole week.
Because we're on a short time frame.
I think we need to quickly just touch on the weekend and we need to
Okay.
touch on quali. Because at least quali we were together.
Okay, well, I'm putting us on a time limit then.
Yeah.
This is time limit. Sorry, guys. I am absolutely... The week was amazing, but if you can't hear it in my voice, and if you're watching this, you'd probably see it in my face, I am rooted. I've never felt so broken in my body, in my mind,
Your soul.
than I do now. I have severe back issues, and the pain going through my body is wild.
You did so well, though. The fact that you're still walking is fantastic.
I can barely walk.
Yeah.
That's the feeling. Like right now, sitting down recording this makes me want to scream and cry because I'm in so much pain. I was like walking to meet you at the pit entry around turn 13. And I was telling Pat, I was like, I lost feeling in my leg, and I was like having to consciously lift it up. But like how lucky were we with the weather as well?
So lucky.
25 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, it was, I mean, first world problem. It kind of it was a little bit annoying sometimes because I had so many jean options, and there was the amount of times it was so hot, and obviously we wore our race suits. The plan was to wear them on the Thursday because that's usually our,
Yeah.
we've said this, our run around day.
Our content day.
Of course, the day we're wearing our boiling, fireproof, debatable fireproof.
Debatable fireproof. Isaac
Race
Hajar
suits.
is not convinced.
No,
of fireproof.
Isaac Hajar said yes. Then someone else said no.
Yeah, he said only for go-karting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the hottest day. I think towards the end, I've like thrown mine on the floor. I need to go wash it because it's disgusting.
I don't know where mine is actually, now that you mention that.
Yeah, it just needs to go for a wash. But yes, we were very lucky. Granted, I always think that a little rain always creates some fun and some chaos.
I almost didn't want rain for the weekend because I wanted to see what these new cars were going to be like.
Yeah, good call.
With an even playing field in terms of there were no weather distractions. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't windy, it wasn't wet, it wasn't cold.
Yeah.
It was just everything was neutral. And I wanted to see how the cars would perform.
Yeah.
Like I remember when practice started, I was so excited.
Oh my gosh.
Because I just was like, I can't wait to see these go past. And I think the thing that we kept talking about the most was the noise. And the night before, you had gone to a talk with Airwallex where it was a fireside chat. There was one with Bernie Collins and then Lando Norris. And Bernie Collins had a few interesting things to say about the noise of the new cars.
She did. Like I did mention, she is incredible. I was also very frustrated because there were all these people just like talking, and I was like, this is so rude. Clearly, you could see who the F1 fans were because they were like, Bernie Collins. It's like, yeah, like full clapping, and no one else was clapping. I was like, well, they clearly don't know who this is. Bernie, if you're listening, I love you. I would love to, we would love to have you on the pod one day.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, can you tell us about the
yes,
car noises? Because you posted it on TikTok and a lot of people had things to say about it.
Yeah, well, it was very interesting because she said that something that they noted at Bahrain testing was that the Audi is the only car that sounds different. So she said that they were sitting and listening and shutting their eyes and they could pick the Audi when it came past, which I thought was really interesting. And then a lot of people were like, do you know why? I don't know why. I can't tell you why. Maybe if Bernie, if we get her on, if she'll
I'd love to
she'll
find
tell
out why.
us,
So
yeah.
apparently the Cadillac car is very similar. I
Yeah.
mean, to my ears, it's the cars this year, if you haven't heard them yet, they sound a bit more quieter. But I think what it is in the past, like say you're standing on the track watching, you would hear them coming and going for a little bit longer. Now I feel like the noise of these new hybrid power units, it's quicker. And it's more that noise barrier is when it's in front of you and then it goes.
Yeah.
So that's what I noticed, but then I didn't notice. But that's also
But I think as
I'm
well,
not like trained to hear.
But I think I think as well it would have been easier at Bahrain testing because there's not crowds, like there's not people talking. If we sat in like a quieter spot of the track, which I don't even know where it would be quiet, and you were just purely focusing on that, then you'd probably pick it up a bit more. But I think it's a little bit trickier as well, especially during like a race week and there's so much going on.
I'd love to find out. If anyone here knows why the Audi that's listening knows why, and is engineering aerodynamist, whatever you want to call it.
Racing engineer.
Let us know because I'd like to know that one.
Yeah, and on the topic of Audi, I just want to say I actually think physically looking at all the cars,
Oh, it's hot.
it's hot. It's the best looking car on track.
Yeah, the livery.
The livery.
It's great.
I think I was like pleasantly surprised by the Audi as well. Such a bummer with what happened in quali, but I mean, we will touch on that quickly. With quali, quali, it was very exciting. Max Verstappen was out in Q1. He spun out.
Wild, but also
Wild scenes.
when he spun out and I knew that he wasn't going to be making it up the grid, I was like, great, we get to witness Max in person.
Yeah.
What he's best at doing.
Yeah.
Climbing the grid.
Climbing the grid, exactly.
And
was,
that's exactly what he did.
And exactly what he did. And everyone knew that that's what he was going to do.
I was so excited to see that. I was like, we get to witness this now.
Yeah,
Yay.
you get to see it in real time. But also, and I was like frantically trying to get my radio to work. I was like trying to put it on my phone. I couldn't get it to work. It was frustrating me because I just wanted to listen to quali in my ear. But I was absolutely just shocked. I was like, Isaac Hadjar, Arvin Lindblad, Gabriel Bortoleto,
was Arvin
all
Lindblad, by
in
the way?
Ollie Behrman, all in Q3. I was bummed for Gabriel Bortoleto on the topic of the Audi because the Audi, it did do very well. But then the same thing happened with Nico Hülkenberg at the end of, in Q2, Nico Hülkenberg lost power in the car. And then at the end of Q2, so once they finished their flying lap and come back in, Gabriel Bortoleto, so he made it into Q1. Then his car couldn't bring it in. It just like stopped at pit entry and he couldn't bring it in. And then that's such a bummer because who knows where he could have qualified. But at least he made it to Q1, which was fantastic work. And yeah, I was just like, Isaac Hadjar, especially when I think I was saying to you when Max was out in Q1, I was like, Isaac has to do well. He has to do well because he needs to prove this to Red Bull. And then unfortunately, I mean, if we get into the race, he did DNF.
He did, but a lot of others did as well.
A lot of others did.
So the rumour going around the paddock was that they reckon every race, at least for the first half of the season, there will be at least 4 to 6 DNFs, which is wild, considering how many cars that is.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary to think that, but it also makes for exciting racing, and I think that's what we're in for with the new power units and the regulations. I know the drivers are complaining about it. They hate it. They don't feel like they're driving. They feel like they're playing games, where then perhaps it'll suit the drivers that do more simulator training. We don't know, but also the cars seem to be having some faults already. So the rumour was that if the Middle East races don't go ahead, which is likely for obvious reasons, that the teams will then, after using the first 3 races of Australia, China and Japan, use that time afterwards to work on the cars again.
Yeah. I actually, on that topic,
Because they need to do more testing.
They absolutely need to do more testing. Something that I think is interesting, and it's something to really keep an eye on this year. I think in previous seasons, the biggest strategy was tyre strategy. We were looking at a tyre strategy, and I think that with the shake-up this year, I think the biggest strategy is coming out of battery management.
Oh, 100%. But then speaking of tyre
management,
why did Ferrari not go on tyre changes on the 2 virtual safety cars?
No, they fucked up that strategy.
I'm sorry, you had 2 times to do that. What were they expecting, a third one?
I know. Look, if there's something that we know, it's that Ferrari will fuck up a strategy.
But it was so disappointing because they were so close.
They were so close.
Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton at the top of the grid. I was like, epic. This is so good. Like, I want nothing but Lewis to be back on the podium and for him to have that moment in Ferrari as well and not just in a sprint race. Oh, it was so disappointing.
It was so I love that you're saying this and not me.
I know, but I felt for you and I felt for all the Ferrari fans. And then I was just annoyed in general because I was just like, you have a fast car, Ferrari. You proved that in testing. You're proving it now. Mercedes obviously does as well, and they proved that as well. They just backed themselves up. But, oh, my God, Ferrari.
It's funny because I'm it's funny because I'm not even that frustrated about it just because I just felt so happy that we were back this season. Like, I was so emotional over the weekend. I was like, I'm just so happy when I literally, same thing as you, when I heard the cars go out in free practice, I almost cried because I thought, I actually can't believe we're back. Same with a race. I was like, I cannot believe we're back. I don't know why this break just felt eternal. And yeah, I was frustrated about that. But I think at the same time, the thing that made me happy was the fact that I was like, this car, I'm not talking about the Ferrari car, it's not a dud. Like, they actually have a good car.
I know.
And that radio message of Charles Leclerc being like, I feel like I have a mushroom in Mario Kart.
Yeah, that was good.
I was like,
I saw you post that. I hadn't seen that soundbite. And then when you posted it, I was like,
so good.
Yeah,
and then another topic of cringe, though. Well, no, cringe. Radio messages. George Russell.
no, I haven't had time to go back and look at all the radio messages.
He said at the end of the race, he was like, he made like a Borat comment, like, I like this guard. They were like, what are you saying, George?
Oh,
I do
honey
agree
boo
with
boo,
you.
no.
I mean,
honey
look,
boo,
it is exciting though. I mean, I did call it Mercedes I actually said I did call it Mercedes and Ferrari podium.
You did. I was thinking that. I was like, Pat called this. She got her predictions like very spot on. I think you said a Mercedes sandwich with Charles Leclerc in the middle.
Yeah.
So close enough.
So we just split Kimi and Charles. But yeah, maybe if they didn't stuff up the strategy, then maybe they would have. Charles could have been second or third,
or could have won.
Yeah, and we could have won. And obviously, we need to talk about what happened at the beginning. Not even at the beginning of the race. Formation lap. Not even the formation lap. Everyone. Okay,
it was the formation lap.
I wasn't with you, right?
No, it was the formation lap. I was in the lounge, which is like the entry to the paddock when that happened, and someone goes, "Oh, Oscar's out." And I was doing some work, so I didn't quite realise like what time it was because we're sort of a little bit delayed in our schedule. And I was like, oh, what, is Oscar out here? Like, that's weird. Like, why is he coming into the lounge right now? That's what I thought people were saying. And then people were like, no, don't worry. It's from last year.
That's what everyone thought.
And so then I looked up at the TV and everyone rushed to the balcony to look up at this giant TV. It was like a mass swarm. Like, I swear to God, if that was a boat, it would have just like tipped over because of how quickly everyone moved to this one side. I couldn't believe it. That he just locked up when he was down, was shifting up or shifting down, whatever it was shifting gears. And to have that spin out,
But
I
it
feel
was
emotional.
40 minutes before the race, and everyone was saying the same thing because we were all kind of like watching the TV, and they were showing all this old footage, different footage of different AusGPs, and then suddenly we saw Oscar, and it was like, wait, is that real? No, it's old.
Well,
No, it's old.
everyone had a delayed feedback about it, so I actually rewatched that part this afternoon, and on the Sky Sports broadcast, which was on KO, they were even delayed. They had the thing on Oscar, but they were like, "Whoa, wait, is that real?"
Yeah.
Like, even they got confused because
Yeah.
obviously there was overlay of old footage anyway, so no one knew what was going on until it was very weird. And oh my God, I just felt for him so hard. I felt for everyone. Like I said before, I spoke to heaps of people that came into the store today. Half of those people were in the Oscar Piastri grandstand, and they all said that the mood just drastically changed. And like, apparently people took off their Oscar Piastri shirts and put their other clothes back on.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so
Yeah,
sad. I'm just like, what is this? I was like, we need a priest.
Cursed.
We need a priest.
We need sage. Maybe we should go for a run around the track next year and like sage the track.
Literally, can I honestly, AusGP, can you please hire a priest? Or like,
Get an Etsy witch.
yeah, something, like some sort of something, because that's not cool. I liked their social media. It was like, we're retiring.
Yeah.
All of AusGP is
The
retiring.
AusGP admin just were, very funny on that one. I was like, oh. I mean, the race, that was devastating. I was really hoping Oscar was in a great position to start with, so that could have been a very
fifth.
excellent race for him. We don't, we could talk about what if all
All
till we
day.
get blue in the face.
It is a bummer as well because I would have liked to have seen, I mean, obviously Lando was out, but I would like to have seen like Oscar in the McLaren and like the McLaren, the battle between like the McLaren, the Mercedes and the Ferrari, like where exactly they sat, because I'm still not, I know that he obviously did quite well in FP2 and he qualified
Fastest
fifth,
time.
but I still don't, like I knew from the get-go that Mercedes was going to do well. I knew throughout pre-season testing, I was like, hold on, I think that Ferrari is going to do well. I'm still not quite sure where McLaren sits in the mix.
No, and I had heard a rumour that even before formation lap went out, there was something wrong with Oscar's car potentially, and that they were testing something. Then if you listen back onto Lando's radio when Oscar crashed, he goes, did he hit something? So he says something, or did the car just break down? So they obviously knew something was wrong with the car, and I think there's going to be these issues with the cars.
Yeah.
They're just going to break. At the end of the day, 47% of it is electric power unit going at very high speeds.
Yes, and like
That's going to be interesting. But that's what's going to make this season exciting.
exactly, and like kind of what I touched on before about the batteries is the whole thing as well is this isn't just to drive the car and that's it. The battery recharges the car. And another thing that Bernie Collins was saying, that there's this kind of like boost mode that you can use, which they've actually they've always had this boost mode.
Yeah,
It's
this
just
is,
a
like,
lot
now
more
extreme.
intense.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you could easily use your boost mode, but I could use my boost, pick up a bunch of speed, overtake a bunch of cars, but then my battery will just die. And so my battery needs that time to recharge. So it's like you have to be incredibly strategic about how you use the power on the grid. I was going to say, it's funny because you're talking about the cars braking. I think it was in quali where the Cadillacs were both like, I think Valtteri was like, I've lost my left mirror. And then like half a lap later, Checo was like, I've lost my right mirror. Oh my God. Like, I'll just work as a team and figure it out. And then like Checo lost a part of his car and then Lando drove over it during the race as well.
Right.
Yes, so
a lot happened for not a lot happening.
but also the first like 10 laps,
that was so exciting.
oh my
and then it just died
gosh.
off.
Oh my gosh, I know, but the battle, and granted, again, this is the thing, is they're learning how to figure the cars out. Because realistically, yes, they've tested the cars and they did quali, they've done practice, but battling, they haven't done this. This is the first time they've ever done this. The George Russell Charles Leclerc battle, I was like screaming on the edge of my seat, and I was sitting with two Ferrari fans, and so we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is exactly what we have wanted for such a long time. And like we've said, the cars are lighter, they're smaller, there's more room for.
I can't wait to see these cars in Monaco.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's where I want to see them.
Well, they remove the mandatory 2 pit stop as well.
Yeah, I know. I want to see these cars in Monaco.
Yeah. All right, be very.
Well,
another battle as well. Esteban Ocon and
really hard to shut
Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, like they were battling, and I'm like, oh, of course they bloody battle, they bloody hate each other. That was fantastic. But yeah. And did you have any like favorite moments or any?
Well, I was going to say, what was your red flag and green flag for the day?
Oh, okay. My red flag is obviously Oscar. I genuinely was heartbroken. I think the entire nation.
I'm with you on that. I think I shared that red flag.
Yeah, I think the entire nation was just devastated, and yeah, it's just unbelievable. It's honestly unbelievable. Like I cannot believe that it happened again, and it's just shocking. It's heartbroken. You see his mum there, like you see Nicole, you see his family, and you just think, I'm absolutely devastated for you. I mean, obviously it's the first race of the season. There's so much ahead. I always think back to Isaac Hadjar last year where he had that crash in Australia and it was so sad. And then he ended up doing so well during the season and now he's in a Red Bull seat. And I guess it's the same with Oscar. The only difference is that it's his home race and just, the Oscar grandstand and even like a Glamour on the Grid, that video that I posted where it was, so many people were saying like Oscar, 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 the amount of Oscar predictions that we had throughout the day, everyone in their Oscar t-shirts from the grandstands, like it was heartbreaking to say the least. So yeah, that was my red flag. And my green flag is probably, Arvin Lindblad.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I think I was very pleasantly surprised. I did not have the highest expectations for him. I think, Racing Bulls, they are the sister, brother, whatever, team to Red Bull. And I think it's one of those things where, whatever Red Bull does and they want to test something, they'll put it into that car. So obviously that car's never going to perform as well as a Red Bull. The fact that Arvin Lindblad is 18, I believe, first time racing in an F1 car. Granted, he's joined the grid at the same time that everyone's kind of dealing with these new regulations, but I think he ended up finishing P9 or P8. I watched the timings on the F1 app whilst watching the race and watching him. Even actually at one point, I think he got a fastest sector 1 or something. I was like, how is this happening? This kid is so young, so pleasantly surprised. So I think that was my green flag. Obviously, I'm very happy that Ferrari did well, but
Do you have any personal green flag and red flags? I feel like my one's a personal one.
Do you mean throughout the race weekend or on the day or?
No, just your whole week.
Oh, I just think having F1 back. I think that, we'd had some really cool experiences over the weekend and very exciting, but I don't know. I've said this before. I just felt like it was an eternal break. I think we've been talking about the 2026 regulations for years and the excitement and to actually see it and the fact that we have the privilege that we get to see that in person, the first race, the UK broadcasters complaining about being up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, I'm like, guess what? We deserve this. So exciting. But yeah, what about you?
Well, I'm going to be super quick because I can see the battery flashing there on the camera. But my red flag, obviously, definitely Oscar, and also just that whole somber mood and witnessing that. I actually took a photo of the Oscar Piastri grandstand just before the race started. And I hadn't looked at it until I looked at it this morning, and I zoomed in on everyone's faces and everyone just looks so sad and just not wanting to be there.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad. Green flag, obviously, exactly what you said. Everything's back. We're back. It feels good. Also, very exciting, did a hot lap with Audi as well. So that was, I'll never say no and be sad if you put me in a fast car. So
Feels.
it's a green flag.
Next year's my year.
It's a green flag all year round. So it was very exciting. And I'm looking forward to it. All continuing on this year. We're obviously going to do a watch party again for any of our Melbourne listeners this weekend. Chinese Grand Prix, 6 p.m. the race starts. So we're encouraging everyone to come down from 4:30, have a drink, a little pub feed for dinner, Sunday night pub feed.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I know. Because you can actually
kind of like
have
that
dinner.
it's not super early. Like it's actually, it's a good time. Like we've got the day to prep and yay.
You'll be home by 8 o'clock.
Especially I always think having like China and Japan back to back kind of helps cure our post AusGP blues.
It does, especially when we have our the community come down to the pub as well and we all do it together.
Yeah, agreed. Well, anyway, Elle, I can't believe it's happened. I can't believe it's over. Hi guys, it's Pat here. Very sorry, but the camera did actually die towards the end of this episode. So we did just want to say thank you very much for listening.